Good morning, students. Today we shall discuss a new chapter, oscillations and waves. So we all know what are waves, what are oscillations. And to speak about the definition of simple harmonic motion, it is the periodic or oscillatory motion executed by a body such that its acceleration is proportional to its displacement from the equilibrium position and is always directed towards it under the action of a force called restoring force. So now here, this is a simple pendulum. This pendulum, this is called as a bob or a metal ball, which is extended or which is hooked to this point by a wire. So this one is made to oscillate . So this bob, when it is pulled and left, it starts making a oscillation. It goes to and fro like this. So this is the mean position. This is the mean position, and this is what the extreme position, this point, the maximum extent at which it goes, this is called an extreme position. And this distance from the mean to the maximum, that is called as amplitude. And the time taken for one oscillation to complete, that is when a bob goes like this, this is called as one oscillation, and the time taken to complete this oscillation is called as time period. So periodic or oscillatory motion executed by this body, and the acceleration of this body is proportional to its displacement from the mean position or the equilibrium position. And this motion is directed towards it, and it is under the action of a force called as restoring force. Say for example, when we pull this bob to this end, again it comes back. So there is a restoring force. And this body which executes simple harmonic motion is called as a harmonic oscillator. So what are the examples? The examples include this mass or a bob extended by a spring or a thread. Sorry, a pendulum is one which is extended by a thread, and it is set for this oscillation. This is a simple pendulum. And also we can have a mass suspended by a spring. So if we take a spring and put some mass and just pull the mass vertically downwards. So this is a spring. To the spring we have tied a mass, and when we pull it, so it starts making the what we can say, it executes oscillation in this vertical direction. This happens in a vertical direction. This is also an example of simple harmonic motion. And excited tuning fork. We in POC we have studied about this tuning fork, that we just what we can say, hold a fork and you just vibrate it, hitting it to some soft material, it start making some oscillations. So this is also an example for simple harmonic motion. And a very simple example is, in a park, the children play in a swing. So once a person, say a kid is sitting in a swing, and a person pulls the swing and leaves. So it starts doing the oscillations. And this is also an example for simple harmonic motion. So next, we shall discuss something called differential equation for the motion of simple harmonic equation. So we considered a bob. It is making an oscillation in this way, right? So when we plot a graph of this displacement versus time, this is time axis, this is displacement axis. So it starts making the motion, oscillation, and it is a wave. So this is a wave, and this is what, this is the amplitude, the maximum displacement. This is amplitude, and the time taken to complete this one wave or one oscillation to happen, this is called as what? Time period. So now for this simple harmonic motion, what is the differential equation? So we consider a body which is in oscillatory motion, and for such oscillations, the force acting on the body will be a restoring force. It will be the restoring force, and it is given by F is equals to minus K into X, where X is displacement and this K is what? It is called as force constant. So this is the restoring force. And if M is the mass of the body, then as per Newton's second law, so Newton's second law, according to that, force is given by mass into acceleration. F equals to M into A. That is Newton's second law. So acceleration is what? Second order derivative of displacement. So X is displacement, dx by dt is velocity, d square x by dt square, that is called as acceleration. So this is according to Newton's second law. So we have this equation and we have this equation. We equate the forces. So we get m into d square x by dt square is equals to minus kx. Send this m to the other side. Then it will be d square x by dt square is equals to minus k by m into x. And now this taking to the LHS, so it will be d square x by dt square plus k by m into x equals to 0. This is the equation representing equation for a body which executes simple harmonic motion. Okay, and what is the solution for this equation? The solution for the equation is given by x is equals to a sine omega t. This is the equation for differential equation for simple harmonic equation, where this small a is called as amplitude, and this omega is called as what? Angular frequency. And this t, time t, is the time elapsed. And this omega, the angular frequency, is given by root of a by m. Next, going to a mechanical simple harmonic oscillator, that is mass suspended to a spring oscillator. See here, this is a rigid support and this is the mass. This is mass. And this is suspended using a spring. This is what? Spring. Using this spring, this mass m has been suspended. So it is fixed at the rigid end. And this m, small m is the mass of this mass to which it is the mass attached to the spring. And see this one, mg acts vertically downwards. And this is the equilibrium position. This is the equilibrium position. See, when this mass is suspended by this spring, okay, and when it is pulled, when this mass is pulled, it starts making the vertical oscillations. The oscillations will be in this fashion. So, any displacement upwards this position O, this is the equilibrium position, O is the equilibrium position. So any displacement above is taken as positive, and any displacement towards the lower side or below O is taken as negative. And again, see, we have this force F is proportional to minus Ex, that is displacement, and this F equals to minus Kx, K is equals to minus F by X. So now we consider this magnitude of X, okay, we consider the magnitude of X. So F magnitude minus F is nothing but plus F, that is the magnitude of the force. So when X equals to 1, see here in this equation, when X equals to 1, we have K equals to F. When X equals to 1, when this is 1, then F is equals to what? F is equals to K. This is the condition when X is equal to 1. So what is then the force constant? We say this is small k is called as force constant. Then force constant is defined as the magnitude of the applied force which produces unit extension. So what force we are applying on the spring, and this produces unit extension, that is X equals to 1, then such force is called as force constant. Now, what is the period and frequency of oscillation? So time period is nothing but the time taken by the time taken or time required to time required for a complete oscillation. So what is this period and frequency of oscillation? So let mass is it is suspended and it is released free from the applied force. Then the mass starts it starts moving in the vertical direction. So T is the period of oscillation, and it is given by T is equals to 2 pi into square root of m by k, where this T is time period, m is mass, and k is what? The force constant. And what is the frequency of oscillation equal to? Frequency of oscillation nu is, it is the reciprocal of the time period. So nu is equals to 1 by t. So we know t is equals to what? 2 pi into root of m by k. Okay. So substituting this, we get nu is equals to how much? 1 by 2 pi into root of k by m hertz. So this is the frequency. And what is angular frequency equal to? What is angular frequency? So angular frequency is given by what? Omega. Omega equals to 2 pi by t. 2 pi by t. So we know t is equals to what? 2 pi into root of m by k. So T is equals to 2 pi into root of m by k. So substitute here in the place of T. So we get omega is equals to root of k by m. This is the equation for what? Angular frequency. So now we shall discuss what is the equivalent force constant for springs in series combination. So in our previous discussions, only one spring was there. The mass was suspended by a single spring. Okay. Now we consider a combination of two springs. See here now, this is one spring and this is one spring, correct? So there are two springs. Okay. To these two springs, a mass has been tied. It is suspended by these two springs. And now a oscillation takes place. So what happens? So in the previous discussion, only one spring was there. Here it is a combination of two springs. So let this S1 be one spring, S2 be one spring, S1 and S2. And these are having force constants K1 and K2. Okay. So when this mass M is pulled downwards, then we have the force, restoring force acting on this. So now let X1 be extension in S1 and X2 be the extension in S2. See here, we can see that this X1 is the extension due to S1 spring and this X2 is the extension due to S2 spring. This X1 is the displacement from the first spring, X2 is the displacement from the second spring. So this total displacement X is equals to X1 plus X2. So from the first spring S1, we have force equals to minus K1 into X1. And the force is also given by mg, mass into acceleration, and now it is acceleration due to gravity, m into g. So we have mg is equals to minus K1 into X1. So X1 displacement is equal to what? X1 is equals to minus mg by K1. Call it as equation 1, and this is for the spring 1, that is S1. Now X2 is the extension in S2. Okay. And as the same mass is attached, right? So we have, as similar to this equation 1, we have X2 is equals to minus mg by K2, where this K1 is the force constant for the first spring, K2 is the force constant for the second spring. Now, as these two are suspended in series, this is what? This is when the mass is suspended with only spring S1. This is when the mass is suspended, same mass is suspended using spring S2. Now these S1 and S2 are now suspended in series. They are connected in series and then the mass is suspended. So what will be the displacement? The displacement X is equals to X1 plus X2. That is the addition of the two displacements. So now this force constant for this series combination, what we write? The force constant mg, force constant is Ks for the series combination, and the equation will become mg is equals to minus Ks into X. And what is this X equals to? X1 plus X2. Okay. So now rearranging, X1 plus X2 is equals to minus mg by Ks. Call this as equation 3. So in this equation 3, substitute for this X1 by equation 1 and substitute for X2 by equation 2. So that will be equal to minus mg by K1 minus mg by K2 is equals to minus mg by Ks. So you can see in this minus mg is a common factor. Minus mg is a common factor, and we remove that. We remove and rearrange. We have 1 by Ks is equals to 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2, where Ks is the force constant for the combination of springs. K1 is the force constant for the spring S1. K2 is the force constant for the spring S2. So 1 by Ks is equals to 1 by K1 by 1 by K2. So taking the LCM for this RHS, we have K2 plus K1 divided by K1 into K2. So this is equal to 1 by Ks. So what this Ks is equals to? Ks is equals to K1, K2 divided by K1 plus K2. So this is the force constant for the combination of two springs, 1 and 2, S1 and S2. So similarly, if we have n number of springs, so what we discussed now is only for two springs. And now if there are n number of springs, then what we write? We write 1 by Kx is equals to summation I is equals to 1 to n 1 by Ki. So here, see here in this equation, it is 1 by Kx is equals to 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2, because here we are having only two springs. So if there are n number of springs in series, if n number of springs are connected in series, then what will be the value of this Ks? 1 by Ks is equals to summation I is equals to 1 to n 1 divided by Ki. Say for example, this is for 2. If we have 3, if we have 3 springs connected in series, then the equation will be like 1 plus K1 by K1 plus 1 by K2 plus 1 by K3. This is for what? When there are 3 springs connected in series. If there are 4 springs connected in series, then it will be again 1 divided by K4, like this. So it goes on. Okay, that is what the summation I is equals to 1 to n. Okay, and what is the time period? T is equals to 2 pi into root of m by Ks. So this is the time period. So Ks is the force constant for the combination in series. So this is the equation for time period. So now we shall move to the equivalent force constant for springs in parallel combination. So we saw what is the value of force constant when two springs are in series combination. Now we shall discuss about the force constant for the springs when they are connected in parallel. So here, see here. So this is the rigid support. Here S1 spring is there, and here is the S2 spring. So these two springs uh, are in parallel. This is parallel to this. So both the springs are parallel to each other. Okay, and then the mass M is suspended by these two springs which are in parallel to each other. So what will be the equation now? So force equation will be again similarly what we did in the last discussion. Mg is equals to minus k1 into x1. So this is when the mass is suspended using the spring S1. So x1 will be equal to minus mg by k1. Call it as equation 1. And what happens when the mass is suspended by the spring S2? Then mg is equals to minus k2 into x2. So x2 will be equal to minus mg by k2. So this is this is as equation 2, and with this we call it as equation 1. So now what has happened? These equation 1 and 2 represent when the mass is suspended by either S1 spring or by S2 spring. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಸ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ S1 ಗೆ S1 ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತದೆ equation? This is the equation for displacement. x1 is equals to minus mg by k1. So similarly, when mass is suspended using the spring S2, then this is the equation. Now what we consider? We consider that these two springs are suspended from a rigid support parallel to each other. Parallel to each other. See, now these are parallel to each other and they are fastened to a free support. This is a free support, and from this mass has been suspended. Okay. And the free support distance x due to mass m. So what distance it distance is? This is small x. So now let the restoring force on the support Fp and the this force constant be Kp, and we can write the equation Fp is equals to minus Kp into x. This is same as F equals to minus Kx. Okay. And what is the restoring force Fp by these two springs? So restoring force in S1 will be F1 and the restoring force in S2 will be F2. So this Fp will be the sum of these two forces. So Fp is equals to F1 plus F2, and by this equation we can write, Fp is equals to F1 plus F2. Similarly, for F1 we can write minus K1 x1, and for F2 we can write minus K2 x2. And as the springs, both the springs undergo the same extension. Both springs S1 and S2 undergo same extension x. So we can write x1 is equals to x2 is equals to x. So in place of x1, in place of x2, we substitute just x. And taking x as a common factor and minus, we are having minus into k1 plus k2 into x. So call this as equation 4. And we had equation 3. What was equation 3? Equation 3 was Fp is equals to minus Kp into x. And what is equation 4? Fp is equals to minus K1 plus K2 into x. So by comparing these two equations, we can write minus Kpx is equals to minus K1 plus K2 into x. So here is minus into x, here minus into x. So both cancel and we are left with Kp is equals to K1 plus K2. So the force constant in parallel combination is equal to just the sum of the force constants of the individual springs. And this is what equation 5 giving the information about the force constant of the springs in parallel combination. So this is for what? When two springs are in parallel. So here only two springs are in parallel. So Kp is equals to K1 plus K2. So similarly, if more number of springs are connected in parallel, see this is when 2, when 3 springs are in parallel, then the force constant in parallel combination will be K1 plus K2 plus K3. If 4 springs are in parallel, then Fp will be equal to K1 plus K2 plus K3 plus K4. Okay, so we write if n number of springs are connected in parallel, then Kp is equals to K1 plus K2 plus K3 like that up to n. So Kp is equals to summation I equals to 1 to n Ki. It is just the sum of the force constants of individual springs. And what is the period of oscillation equal to? For the period of oscillation will be equal to T is equals to 2 pi into, sorry, this is square root of m by Kp. Square root of m by Kp. This is the period of oscillation when the springs are connected in parallel. So I stop the discussion here. We shall meet in the next class and discuss some more things. Thank you.